What in the world is this? Charlie Kirk brands Simone Biles shame to the country after Olympics exit. What in the world? Okay, dude. Let's talk. Let's talk facts here. Fact number one. You're not an athlete. Fact number two. You're not an Olympian. Fact number three. She stepped down because she wasn't mentally able to compete at the level that she usually competes at. I don't know what your problem is with Simone Biles, but if any other Olympian that's representing the United States stepped down for the same reason, would you label them the same way you just did her? Think about it, dude. Let's think about it. Let's think about it for 1 second. Just hold your horses. Uh, let's see. We have Michael Jordan, 6 NBA titles, tons of accolades, Olympian, considered the greatest of all time, the GOAT. He handled the pressure pretty well. Tom Brady, seven, seven Lombardi trophies, Super Bowls. You can't for the last 15 years you can't mention Super Bowl without thinking about the Patriots and Tom Brady, considered the greatest of all time, the GOAT. Hmm. What was it? What was the swimmer? The swimmer? Oh, you know the guy. You know him well. Greatest Olympian athlete, multiple times, gold medal winner, considered the GOAT. But here's the kicker. He said he suffered from mental issues. He said the pressure was too great for him too. He came to her aid. So let me get let me think about this a little bit further with you. Let me go a little bit further with you. Could you do the same thing? Could you step on that same stage that she stepped on and handle the pressure that she handled up until the point that she knew that if she could not compete at the level that was expected of her because of her mental state, that she thought that it would cost her team more than just a gold medal or silver medal, they wouldn't place. So she did the right thing by stepping down. That's what makes it even better. That's what makes her even better because basically she knew and recognized that she wasn't on top of her game. Some people don't realize that, and they'll continue on, and then you'll find out afterwards that hey, they were suffering through some mental blocks and mental barriers that they couldn't get over, and that caused them not to perform at the level as they're accustomed to. So she took herself out, put and stayed there to cheer on her teammates, and she let them know for a fact that she was there with them and that she could not perform at the level that she should be performing at. Now that's where the whole thing gets more interesting. She stayed there, thick, thin, through it all, and she did her best. The cracks were there in the beginning. The cracks have been there since the Olympic trials, since she started the whole thing. She would she had first she had started to step out and bow out, but she said, you know what? I think I should go back and do this. Go back again and try. And she did. She went to the trials. She was selected. She represented the country. She did. She was doing it again. She's 24 years old. When was Michael Jordan labeled a GOAT? He wasn't in his 20s. The phenomenon was there when he was in his 20s, but he wasn't in his 20s. When was Tom Brady labeled the GOAT? Wasn't in his 20s. It was there, but it wasn't in his 20s. So she's 24 years old. She's trying to do her best, and she knew that she could not. She knew that she had to take a step back. Or, there's some truth in there. We're raising a generation of weak people. Well, it's not like Simone Biles. More like you. More like anybody that stands behind a keyboard and thinks that their opinion on a professional athlete that they cannot even play the same damn sport, let alone make a little league team. Think that they can sit there and tell somebody that they should just shut up and dribble. I've heard of shut up and dribble, shut up and catch the ball, shut up and run. Don't make it into a scene. This is people's opinions. And I stated this before in earlier videos. Trust me. She understood the consequences of her actions. So she made the conscious decision to do what she did. It's not for you to judge her on that. It's not for any of us to judge her. Judge anybody. But if you look here, she's won a total of 30 damn medals. 30 Olympic medals total, world champion medals, 23 gold, most decorated athlete, gymnast. I'm not getting it, dude. What's your problem? So the thing is, what I'm trying to get to you, dude, is even though you got you may got a population that sits there and says that that allows you to say that you can do what you need to do, and that that agree with you and stuff like that. Nowhere on your profile in Wikipedia says that you were an athlete, that you were a college athlete. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for college, because you could have probably played some high school ball or high school. You were probably a high school athlete, but you wasn't good enough to pursue it into college. And for me to get this understanding, I'm like looking at your early application. It says that you took part-time classes at King College and was taking classes at Harper College, a community college, and dropped out to pursue conservative activism. So, hey, good for you, John. Most college dropouts make it. Famous college dropout, Bill Gates. But the point is, Bill Gates went to a very preppy school that he was teaching the classes and at Harvard. So he knew more about computers than they did before he even got there. So yeah. But we don't get into it. We're not going to get into all this other stuff that you're saying and everything else. It is what it is. It is what it is. But that I'm calling you out on the Simone comments, because you can't say that she's a shame to the country. She's not. And pretty much the shame to the country is narrow-minded people like you that want to say first sign of somebody stepping down, saying that they're not mentally prepared to do something. You want to sit there and break them down. You want to break them down and keep them down. Sorry, dude, can't do it. It's more like you went from being a conservative activist to a freaking high school bully that want to pick on somebody. Not having it. Not today, not tomorrow, not anytime. And You can bet him. You can bet that it ain't gonna happen. And you probably need to freaking back down and think about what you're saying. Harping praise on her first, and then freaking tearing her down. Nah, dude, you need to go. You need to go check that somewhere else.